Hello, everyone. Good evening. I will call this meeting to order of the Taos Academy Governing Council at 5:36 p.m. Can I please have a roll call to ascertain quorum?
All right, let's Karen,
Here.
Sam,
Here.
Laura,
Here.
Barbara,
Not here.
and Martin.
Here.
All right.
Okay, we have quorum. Next is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next is the approval of our agenda for tonight. Are there any changes?
Motion to approve.
I will second that motion to approve the agenda.
All right, roll call. Sam,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next is the approval of the minutes from our December meeting. I know there were a couple minor changes. Is there anything else that needs to happen? Otherwise, I will motion to approve the minutes from December.
Second.
Roll call. Sam,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next is governing council input. I don't know if there's it says action, but I don't know if there's an action here. I don't have any input right now. Anyone else?
No.
Okay, we will move on. Public input. Are there any members of the public who wish to speak? Okay. Seeing no members of the public, we will move on to financial reports. First is a business service update. I know Deanna isn't here, but Tracy, are you doing it tonight?
I don't think so. I mean, she didn't send me anything.
Okay, well then we will. Are there any bars? Is there anything?
I
No,
think it was supposed to be bars.
She even sent them to me.
Okay. I thought that was on her email.
Her email?
The
Let me go
email
look.
that she sent to us that said that I think there were bars there. And when she sent the financial reports.
Yeah, correct. I see the same thing, Karen. The award of $180,536 for leash assistance and another award for $5,542 for library funding.
All right.
Those are the two things.
Got your update. Awesome.
There you go.
Nice job,
Woohoo!
Laura.
I can read. Arkansas Public
Yeah,
Schools.
it looks like the first is an increase bar and the next is an initial bar.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I will move to approve bars 003 IB and 004 I.
Second.
All right, roll call. Sam,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
and Martin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next is the Finance and Audit Committee update. We did not meet this month, but we'll reconvene in February. That is the report. Next is operation and instructional reports. It looks like our first is a TA foundation report. Do we have one this month?
No, we don't. Nope. She'll come back next month.
Great. So no foundation for the minutes, no foundation report this month. We will receive a report in February. Next is governing council ECS&M. Hi, Kelly.
Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year, and glad to be back at it. And Sam and Tracy, I sent you a first semester report of the training and verifications of the different areas that you guys have received credit for. And again, remember that the training, you guys are doing the work as we work in meetings. I'm a consultant for questions, and then and in the later in the agenda, the committees, and I've been working with both of the succession committee and the evaluation committee to help assist with understanding documents and procedures and such. So those reports will clarify what's going on. But that report, you have the first semester, and then I'll do one at the end of the year. And from there, we'll report to the PED what training hours have been given credit, and you guys will receive all of them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think Barbara's doing Canvas training. Is she doing separate training for new member?
I believe she is, yes.
Okay. Next meeting, we'll have to check in where she is with that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kelly. Any questions for Kelly? Okie dokie. Well, it looks like we will move on to the Director of Programs report.
Jamie?
I didn't get anything. I don't know if she was online.
She said she was going to do virtual. Yeah.
We may have to
Wait.
delay and move that to a later time, and then we can revisit if she comes in.
Okay. Next is the Principal Director of Teaching and Learning report.
Just trying to share this document with you guys. I hope you can see it. Did it come up? Yeah, there it is. There it is. Take a while, I don't know why. So what I've done for you guys today is, I hope you all had a wonderful break, by the way. I haven't seen you guys in a while, so I'm glad to be here with you guys. I did a tax back for semester one, and some of the things, just to kind of show you some positives and some ways we're going after finishing semester one. So I went ahead and started with UNM dual credit. We had 72 students enrolled in dual credit, both in College Link and just dual credit in general. We had 64 students pass with a C or better. We had 7 withdrawals, 1 that failed. So it wasn't too exciting. It was great that we had all those passing, nothing out of the ordinary there. If we looked at the cost of what we save students by doing the hourly credits, usually courses are about 3 credits, would have been about 246 per class. So if we add up all the 72 credit hours, that's something like $20,000, a little more over $20,000. So that's a great piece there. So I hope students continue to take advantage of that, because it really works, help them with the tuition. Okay, then in academic courses, I kind of broken them down by Edge, Century 21, a couple others. Our Century 21, which is like our PE Smart Lab, we had 21 students in Smart Lab, they all passed, and all the students in PE passed, which was about 21 as well. We had 52 students enrolled in STEM courses, all of them passed. CCP courses, which is our college and career preparedness classes, we had a total of 81 students from 10th grade all the way up to 12th grade. We had 80 students that passed and only 1 that failed. Apprenticeships, we had 6 kids enrolled in the apprenticeship program. We have 1 that has acquired 100 hours, which gives them half a credit for the semester. And the other 5 have acquired 200 hours, which gives them a full credit. So doing pretty well there. We're gonna expand that out. When it comes to Edgenuity classes, we had 652 Edgenuity classes. That means core, science, math, English, social studies. And so looking at that, we had 29 students that had failures. That puts us, and I did a percentage on this just because it, you know, you could kind of see the percentage makes a little bit more impact other than a number of 29, but it was less than 5% failure rate. So 4.45% failure rate. So that's not bad. We're trying to improve those. And we had a 95.55% passing rate. So that was good.
It's always nice to look at the positive.
Yeah,
Definitely.
When you hear that, it's like,
To show the hard work is really paying off, and you know, we're really trying to get into those gaps. Right? So I just put some numbers there. We had a total of 91 A's. This is across Edgenuity classes. B's, we had a total of 349. We had 191 C's, 77 D's, and again, 29 F's. So it's kind of how the kids did.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. So they're pretty average, above average on a B. Yeah. Mhm.
Is there a break? I apologize, I can't see the top yet. Is there a distribution of where maybe the less successful, is it concentrated in one particular type of topic, or is it just evenly distributed for every, across all disciplines?
Sure. Sorry, Laura, I did not base them like math, ELA. I can do that if that's something that you guys would like to see. If you can do that, but this was just an overall overview of all the core classes in general. So the 4 main core classes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have a question.
Yeah.
So do those kids have to take the class again?
Yes, they will have to do credit recovery.
Credit recovery. Okay.
Yes.
And that's like doubling up. Like-
Yeah, so normally what we do, like if it's math, because they really need sort of to have the skills, we will re-enroll them in a credit recovery for, like, let's say Algebra 1, right? Because they need that first semester of skills to be able to move on to the second part. But in all the others, we can move them on to the second semester, and either we can double them and have them take the A and B, or we can have them take that summer class depending, where they're at in the grade level. Because if they're like a senior, then we kind of have to move on a little bit quicker, because if they can walk, if they only have one class that they have to make up. But if not, then we have to really get them going or extend their senior year, basically.
And I know you probably can't answer this, but like the F's, is it just because they're just not doing the work, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of that.
Just let the clock run out. And
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, exactly. And something that we're working on too, again, we had started, but then we kind of backed up a little bit and, doing some of that, I don't want to call it hard stuff, but Tracy had a better name for it. I can't remember what it was. Gated stuff or something. I can't remember. We had a nice name. I have it written down somewhere. Stopgate. Yeah, Stopgate. Here we go. And that way, what we do is we stop the kids from having access till the end of the semester so that they don't have that access to procrastinate, right? We try and get them, hey, this is the deadline for 25% of your edge courses, right? And then we go 25%, and then 25%, and then 25%, so that they don't have that sort of, I guess, access to have towards the classes, right? Till they get to the end of the semester. Because I do have a couple that will procrastinate and they'll want an extension. I'll be like, sorry, no, not for procrastination. Now, if it's a legit reason, then yes. So something that we're working on to kind of help with those gaps on that part. Hope that answers your question. Okay. So I'm going to skip down and go to struggling students first. What do we do with those students? Well, what we found is we've gotten a couple of new students have come in, and we actually, we give them a map test and we give them these tests, but something that we kind of haven't touched on, and I want to close the gaps on, is just a running record reading test. So basically fluency, because the fluency tells us how fast they can read, right? And then what happens is, even if I were to put them in math and all of these sort of tests, they may have a problem with the reading skills. So then we got to come up with an MLSS strategy to help them with that. So something that we're implementing, we'll be doing a couple of random checks on our existing kids, and then the ones that come in that are new, we will do that on every single new student. That way we just have an idea of where they might be and how that might affect. Then students have been placed in my path also to build skills in reading and math, so that continues to be something that they work on. Again, they don't have any stop gates there. They can test at, let's say, 4th grade. If they wanted to, they can go all the way to 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. It doesn't stop them. It doesn't limit them. So that's a good thing, but it helps them build the skills. Struggling ELL students will be working on Max Scholar, doing their enrichment to build their skills. So sometimes the students don't have the skills to work on the enrichment things that are happening. Let's say at a senior level, they're reading Romeo and Juliet, or they're reading some of those very tough literacy pieces. And these guys are still trying to get through some of those skills. So we're going to use the Max Scholar program that we have to help them during that time to build their skills. And then we can go from there. So something that we're going to be doing. And then students will be placed, of course, like we always have on an MLS plan. We'll do a SAT referral. So a students assistance team to figure out what they need individually. We'll put them on a 504. Then from there, we can go on the SSL 30-day contract that we normally do. And then if that doesn't work, we'll put them on a student success plan for a semester. And then depending on how they do there, we may end up going to a probationary enrollment contract, which is them having to come 8 to 4 for those 4 days a week, really working with them. We scheduled an EA to kind of oversee that and help them with that. And then checking to see if at the 9 weeks it's a good fit or not. And that's kind of how we're helping struggling students.
Dr.
And then-
Lamella,
Yes.
are those failed classes, are they all special education, or are they a mixture?
It's a mixture. It's not all special education, and the multi-layered system of support for student support, that's part of general ed. So basically what that allows us to do, before we used to have to do it in tiers, now we can jump through the tiers. So that's what that helps us do. So it's everybody, not just special ed, because we want to catch those kids before they start having those issues. Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. Curriculum, the professional development that we've been doing this year is really focused on CCP, math, and ELA. So we break everybody into groups, and they're really focusing on the curriculum and kind of checking, things like essays. Does that essay work? Do we need to move it around? So what else could we add, or do we need to take it out? It's not a good fit. So that's what they've been really working on. It's been really great. With CCP, the curriculum design is that we have 2 very specialized paths to start with. So we have our hospitality and tourism pathway, which includes culinary, entrepreneurship, those kinds of things. And then we also have our digital pathway, right? That includes things like cybersecurity, the AP principles, computer principles, those kinds of things. And then what we want to do with those pathways is Patty does our apprenticeship, and we want to be able to offer more pathways, but we don't have the in-person version. But we're going to use the pathways either to kind of help set up like an Edgenuity elective, or they go out into the community and do like an internship, or they can go out and do an interview, right? Just something to help them explore their pathway. Even though we don't have that very detailed pathway like we do on the other 2, but this will allow us to give them that opportunity to explore. Then in the math and ELA, the enrichment pieces, they're really focusing on strategies for note-taking, the skill building, plagiarism, because we've had a little bit of that with AI, so really focusing on that. And then having math be a priority, we have the enrichment 2 times per week on that. And I think that's pretty much it. Do you guys have any questions? I stand for any questions.
No, thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you, May.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, guys.
Next is our executive director's report. Oh, I do see that Jamie's here.
Oh, yeah.
Do we want to go to our
I
principal?
think she might be on the roads. We might want to capture her. Jamie, can you hear us?
I can hear you. If you can hear me,
Yeah.
I believe I sent it in if somebody else can share it, but really what I wanted to go over tonight was,
Just
we
emailed
have
us.
our result. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
It's kind of going in and out a little bit, but we can hear you.
Okay, so just we have some things coming up, like our students that are participating in different competitions. The bowling team will head to state competition February 7th. The New Mexico Governor STEM Challenge is also February 7th. And then, of course, esports is about to begin. STEM is getting ready to start up next week. We have actually shared some information with May and the others. They can go over that. But the big thing that's coming up is we have our College and Career Explorations Fair on Thursday, February 12th in the Multipurpose Building. And we're about to take some maps and then getting ready into our testing season with all our state required testing, starting with access. If there's any more details you want, I May can share them. I'm in and out of service right now, so apologies.
Jamie, did you?
She just
email
emailed
it?
us. She just emailed us a few minutes ago. Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, so I think she talked about college and career. Is she still on?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's still in.
Did she, I don't know how far she got actually. Did you talk about district testing?
She did.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
The bigger thing is the panorama results.
That's what she wanted.
Oh, so I don't have
that either.
I don't think I have that, Jamie. Why don't you give that next month?
Oh, wait, here it is.
Is it,
Let me go through
the attachment's the same thing.
Council equity, council district.
Jimmy, why don't you just give that next month,
Yeah.
okay? And that
Sounds
way it's
good.
coming from you, and you can answer questions about it that we
Yeah.
might not be able to answer. So
Sounds
just do it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie.
I do have the results.
So I think we're going to move on to the executive director's report.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. Yep. Let me see. Okay. Facility, well, we got the communication in the new building, the new wellness building today. We have been able to move in because we've had a variety. First, it was the communication with the fire system. That was interesting first. And then we were struggling with phones in there, and Mary was able to hook some phones up in there so that there's communication between that building. So now maybe we can actually move in the building. We still need a porch, so we've got a bid on the porch. So we'll see what that can happen. So we should have that hopefully pretty soon. It was such perfect weather, and of course the bid came in the day it snowed.
Right.
I was like, of course. You guys, you waited too long for all the nice weather.
But all the occupancy things are all done.
Occupancy, we have full occupancy, yes. Yep. Yeah, we're good to go there. Yeah, we have, there's a new, what's the counseling service?
Luna Behavioral Health.
Luna Behavioral Health. It might be our first, group, a community group to occupy the building. And then our counselor, well, she's actually a, school psychologist, thank you. Her office will be in there as well. So, I don't know, it's exciting, it's happening. The idea, of course, is the community coming into that building and serving us with, behavioral health, of course, but also with, physical health. You know, if we can ever get a nurse one day a week would be awesome.
So I was gonna ask about that, because
Yeah.
the nurse was gonna kind of be shared with the other schools, right?
Yes, and we lost that, all of us lost that nurse. So right now we don't have a nurse. Cruz is our health assistant, doing a great job. But at some point we'd like to have somebody in there. It'd be nice. We'll see. Yeah. I think I shared with you guys last month, maybe. So I received a grant from the Moore Foundation to get all of the equipment for the nurses station and for the wellness room. So the teachers will have a massage chair, part of the wheel. Yeah, the Moore Foundation was waiting for us to finish the building, actually, to give us this grant. So we got grant money to put some pretty nice things in there. So that'll be fun. Cool. Now we just need the people to occupy it. It's good. It's happening.
So the Luna is providing what?
That's more, May has been in touch with them.
So they'll be providing like counseling therapists that come in. They already see a couple of our students, but they see them outside. So the idea is to bring them here. So that's easier access.
Sure.
For the students, but also to have a schedule so that if we have other new students that need to see somebody, that we have somebody hopefully all the time, 4 days, you know, at certain times. So we'll be working with them. We'll also be working on a schedule with Taos Behavioral Health to also get them to come in and occupy that space and do a shared space so that we have access for the kids to that mental health therapy or just therapy in general or whatever it is that they need. Yep.
As you know, we are moving to a new student information system. It's called an SIS. So the name of it is actually Synergy. And the Synergy group has recently kind of kicked off the whole process, and we met today as a team and did roles and responsibilities for how we're migrating information and the things that we want in our new SIS. Really productive. I am over the moon that we are moving away from Power School. Those of you who know, Power School has never worked for us at all. We're still having issues with Power School up to this date. In fact, right now we're struggling with getting grades put in because of the changes that PED has been making, and Power School not working, just not being a good partner. That's a good word for it. Yeah. So anyway, we're excited to move to Synergy and glad to get on with it, right? It's going to be a thing to move SIS systems. That's a huge lift, but it'll happen, and they're working with us pretty tightly, so that's good. And the last part of mine is just the operations and things. Second semester started really well. Our outdoor education program was successful. One day was actually, May, you could share about the activities you guys did on Thursday because I wasn't here. But Friday, of course, we had a snow day, so we couldn't, they did virtual learning that day, which was kind of a bummer because
Yeah.
they didn't get to do the activity days.
So
Yeah.
we had scheduled, National Guard to come in and do a obstacle course with high school. Fortunately, they weren't able to attend, but we did have Guadalupe Credit Union come in and they did a financial reality fair. That was fun. The kids loved it. They got, given to them what their job was. They had to figure out net taxes, gross, those kinds of things. Then they went into another room. They got a credit score. Then they had to go to different tables. They had to pick their entertainment, like cell phone, transportation, housing, food, all of those great things. And then they had to go back and, kind of figure out, were they in the negative or were they in the positive? And kids really had a good time with it. So, yeah. They came back and like, this, I have 50 cents left in my account. I'm like, yeah, welcome to roll.
Yeah, right.
But it was fun. They really enjoyed that. And so I did talk with Guadalupe, and at some point we'll reschedule the middle school day so that they can also experience that as well. And then we had other activities, such as games in the gym, like volleyball and those kinds of things. And so they really enjoyed that as well. So that was a big success.
Yeah. The ski program was back to just Fridays, but they had to cancel this Friday, so they'll be doing the next 5 or so Fridays. To make up. They have 5 passes, so yeah, that's always a popular
They
program.
had a
for us.
snow day and couldn't ski.
I know.
I know, that's a bummer, right?
It was a real bummer. In fact, when they called me at 4 o'clock in the morning or something like that, I would cancel in school. And she said, well, what about skiing? I said, oh, they don't ever close. They've never canceled our snow program, ever. So I was like, oh, no, they won't cancel. They have their own
This being the corporation.
trucks. Corporation,
Uh-huh.
yes. They have their own snow plows, so they clean that road all day, all night. And like 30 minutes later, Kelsey emails us and says, skiing's canceled. I was like, well, there you go. Oh, well.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's very unusual for them.
very unusual. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but anyway, because they're good. They're good to make it up, and they'll give the kids still 5 days. So all is well. Can't think of anything else right now. It's all running well. Well-oiled machine. This place is.
Yay.
Yay.
How are we doing with head count? 185?
No,
We're at 204. I think.
204 now. And then we had 2 more come in.
Yep.
We're waiting some paperwork for last week because we had another group of orientation kids come in. So yeah, our numbers are climbing.
Yep.
Good. That's really good.
Yeah. 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 200, I don't know. I think, did I talk to you guys about this? 200 is that pretty sweet spot for small school size. There's a long explanation of why, and it has to do with that we receive small school size adjustment, which means more money. And 200 is where, when you go over 200, you actually get less per student for small school size than if you are at 200. Now, or below that. That's for a high school. Elementary schools are a little bit different, but for a high school, 200 is kind of the sweet spot for being there. So, as far as funding is concerned, we're in good shape. Certainly we'd like more students. It's not our goal to stay at 200. We'd love to be at 300 because that's our cap. But as far as just look at funding, actually per student, we get more money at 200 than we do at 250.
Wow.
Not very much, but a little
Because
bit.
the 200 is all the grades, right? So when you look at that, just the high school, it's under 200. So you're getting the small school bonus.
So we get the small school bonus regardless, but it's up to 400 students.
Oh,
So what happens there is the closer you get to 400, the less money you get per student
Okay, so,
of small school size.
okay, so at 200, you're kind of at the max of.
Yeah.
Okay, so even though you go over 200 at 204, you're
Yeah.
still right in that. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, there's still, we'll take it to 400, the less you're gonna. But, yeah, it's like a formula thing, right? But you can see how,
I remember this discussion from last year.
yeah, okay.
There were, because the numbers were high.
Yes,
And you
we
were
were 270.
concerned.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that was last year?
From 2 years ago.
Okay.
I think we were at 275 when we kind of went, well, you know, there's a funny
Exactly.
little formula here with small school size. But 200, Deanna, that's a Deanna word, the 200 sweet spot, that's what she says, yeah.
But all the schools, we talked about this, like all the schools across Taos are seeing lower head counts.
Yes.
Yes, across the state even.
Yeah,
Across the state as well.
that's true. Yeah, in fact, there's some real interesting pushes being made by the legislature to try to figure out how to show that the state is viable for families to come into. Like this will become something that is really in the discussion. I heard it when I was down last week. Just new initiatives to talk about what the state can offer families.
To attract people to move here.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole real estate world right now is like, I just, like, there's like no houses that people who are living and working in Taos can like really afford.
No. Right.
And so I think people are making these choices where like, we can't live here with our kids.
Right. And with the I'm going to use the word rhetoric, and I'm going to send you guys something. Did I already send you a podcast? Did I send you a podcast? I'm going to
I
send
did
you
not
this.
receive it. No.
Okay. I just forgot that. Okay. So, there's a podcast that I'm going to send you that is going to become, there's a think tank working in New Mexico to try to get the message out that we actually aren't last in the state. I mean, last in the country. That when you look at our students, what are called Lexile scores, which are their reading levels, we actually score right about average with the rest of the nation. But that is not how we're judged. We're judged on a test called NAEP, N-E-A-P, NAEP, which is a one-time shot, and it's supposedly schools that are randomly picked. We've never been randomly picked.
But like nationwide, they randomly pick
Nationwide,
schools in every
Yes.
state across, okay, and they
Yes.
take this test,
yes,
and New Mexico does not do well on
and
it.
we do terribly. And so the other problem is our state has chosen to have very high cut scores on our state assessments.
Yeah.
So it makes us look like we don't score well. I'm gonna send this podcast to you. It's 15 minutes, but it explains it better than I can.
I'd like to listen to it.
And it's like, why are we not as a nation looking at Lexile scores? And there's one for math that's in there. I forget the name of it, but it's a similar, a math score that is across the whole. We all use Lexile scores are used in all testing, short cycles testing. So when we take the map, for example, there's a Lexile score for every single student in reading. There's one for math too. Well, why don't we just compare ourselves to other math takers, right? And when you do that, you'll see in this podcast, when you do that, we're about average. So we are kicking ourselves in the foot. Right, the back end.
So at the state level, they're also concerned about the population decreasing
Yes. Oh,
statewide.
Yeah.
it's a statewide problem, and it's financially impacting the state in a very large way, and that's what the legislature is, specifically the Legislative Finance Committee. They met last week, and there's some pretty pretty serious financial issues because of people moving out or unable to move here or not wanting to move here because of, you know, healthcare perception. Healthcare is the other one that they're real concerned about, but education was top on the list. Like we got to get ourselves out of this last in the nation perception. So I'll send it to you guys. It's really interesting.
Who made it? Do you know who did it?
Sam, before we leave tonight, I'll tell you the name. I bet you'll know the guy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very curious.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all I have, but I think Jamie was,
At the
did she have
hand
her
raised.
hand up?
She did, yeah.
Yeah, it was just to explain about the NAEP and how they choose the schools to get the largest demographic they can. So they usually go with places like Las Cruces schools and Albuquerque, and randomly pick a few other schools around the state. In 12 years, I don't know of a single school in Taos getting selected. And it's only at the 4th grade and the 7th or 8th grade level. So it's not a comparison beyond that. Then of course they use other national tests to compare us with. So they really don't make, if they wanted a real true picture of New Mexico, they would give it to every single student at least once every few years, but that is how we are judged.
Yep. And then just to bounce off of that, so when I worked for the district, the school that always got chosen at the elementary level for 4th grade was always Ranchos. And it was because of their specific demographics of that school that fit. So no other schools ever got the name, but they did do it within the 12 years, but it always came up as Ranchos. So in the time that I was at that, at the level, we did do Ranchos 4th grade twice.
Wow.
But it was always just that school, which was weird.
Any other questions or comments about this? Okay, we will move on to committee reports. Does the succession planning team have anything to report this month?
I don't, Laura, do you?
She might be frozen.
He looks frozen.
Looks a little frozen to me.
Oh, there she
There
is.
you are. Laura, you were a little frozen.
It happens. Sorry.
That's okay. Anything to report this month from Martin said no.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you. That's okay. And then the new evaluation template report or committee.
Yes. So Barbara and I each met with Kelly. We were trying to do it together, but I was not able to do it together finally, but I did meet with Kelly afterwards. And we really like this new evaluation, but from what I understand, it starts with goals. So the head administrator sets goals, and then we work on those and track those through the time of the school year, and then we do an evaluation. And so this isn't going to work for us for right now for what we need to do with Tracy for the reporting, but I really like it. It touches the performance framework and the leadership practice. And there's 4 different ones: governing board indicators, and then the summative comments and signatures. It's really comprehensive. It has a lot of information. I think it's really, really good. I haven't had a chance to talk to Barbara about it, but I don't know, Kelly, if you want to say anything about it, but I thought it was great. And it's just not for us to use now, it's for us to use for next year, because we got to start with goals with the head administrator.
Mm-hmm.
And just to echo, to do an evaluation, truly when you're changing, you want to do it with fidelity. You want to do it, to have it from the beginning. But this is a great conversation to have, to take a look at it, perhaps at the retreat, and, really talk about, what this looks like for us as a governing body to move forward, and which, certainly happy to facilitate. But I think it does give a very comprehensive picture of what the head administrator does. And so it includes those superintendent kinds of performance indicators. And so I think it's really good. And I really appreciate Karen and Barbara both being really open and asking a lot of great questions. And so I think there's consensus among them that they, I think it would be probably better to start from the beginning of the school year or beginning of the contract of the new head administrator, or the beginning of their contract year.
Great. Thank you for that. Any questions about that? Seeing none, we will move to new policy adoption. I don't know if we have any policies to adopt tonight.
I looked in the drive and I didn't see any.
I don't think so. There's any. Well, then we will move on to our monthly GC calendar discussion, retreat scheduling, GC eval, and executive director eval review and timeline.
So I did go in and update the calendar on the website, and then the only thing I need is like the date for the retreat.
So we had one that was penciled in, but then I think Mark wanted to change it.
Are we talking about the GC?
Yeah, it's just really echoing, so it's hard to hear.
I'm sorry about that. Can we aim for April sometime?
I think for me, the only day in April I could not do it if we do it on a Saturday is the 4th.
I can't do the 4th or the 11th.
So can it be the back part of April?
Oh, Laura, I think you're talking, but you're muted.
It's like I'm muted and then unmuted. I can't do the 25th. But I can do the 18th.
Yeah, okay. 18th or 20th works for me too.
So I can't do the 25th, so 18th. Well, how about we bid 18th? We'll start there. Martin and I can do the 18th. Can anybody else do the 18th?
I can do the 18th.
I think I can do the 18th.
All right. Barb, we gotta check with Barb, but at least we got Quattro.
I think that's good.
That's for the month of April, correct?
Yes, April 18th.
Got it. Thank you.
And then it looks like GC eval and executive director eval review timelines.
So we need to do an evaluation next month. Well, actually, we're supposed to do our GC eval now and review it next month. And then Tracy's eval should be next month, and we review it in March so we can do her contract. Now you're muted, ma'am.
Whoopsie. Can we get the the self eval for the GC sent to us so that we can have it done in time for the next meeting?
Yeah, let me just see, I asked Pam to send it. Okay, it says that. Yeah, I have it. So I'll share that with all of you guys. She made a new one. And then you can fill it out at your leisure, and then we'll review it next month. Is that what I heard you say?
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I will.
Tracy,
Yes,
Tracy, it's Kelly. Would you mind sending it to me as well?
sure. Yeah. Mhm.
Thank you. Can help facilitate discussion if I need to.
Sure. Sam?
Yes.
That, it's Kevin Summers. Kevin Summers.
Kevin
Is-
Summer.
Yeah,
Oh, that's who the podcast.
and
I was
he does some kind of data. He works for Clovis schools, but he is some kind of data. He has his own little data something. But anyway, I'm gonna send that to you guys as well.
Yes, please, because I'm very curious.
Yeah, good.
And then, okay, so I think, are we good with the timeline?
So what about the eval for Tracy? Did you get the questions, Sam?
Which question?
Wasn't she supposed to send you the eval from last year so we could redo the questions?
I'm hoping that someone will just send me a copy of it.
Okay, I thought we had asked for that already.
I didn't ask, but I think you asked. And we
Okay.
just haven't received it yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Who
So,
did
yeah.
you ask? What? Tell me what you guys need. Because it usually comes from Pamela.
Okay, so we need the questions from last year's evaluation that we did on you, Tracy.
Do you need the finished one, or do you need a blank one for the new year?
A blank one for the new year.
Okay, all right, so I'll ask Pamela. She's the one who usually sends it to you, so it can be in, I think, wait. Yeah, she does. Anyway, I'll get her to do that. No worries.
Thank you.
Great. And so are we good on that one now? Yeah.
I think so.
So then we don't have any policy changes. So I'm moving on to, I think it's executive session. So we will need to motion to enter into executive session with a roll call vote if we are ready.
I motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Okay, roll call. Sam,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Is there anybody you guys would like to invite to stay?
Do we need anyone to stay? I think.
Do we need Kelly?
Sure. I don't remember what this one's about, to be honest. So someone direct. Do we need Kelly and Tracy?
Kelly and Tracy.
I think this is about the evaluation, isn't it?
Yes. I don't remember, to be perfectly honest. I think so, yes. So we'll just do that.
Okay, so just Kelly and Tracy are invited to stay, and you guys are good to go.
Oh, you're going to be here?
Are we,
Can I turn off the
yep,
recording? and
turn
stuff?
off the live stream and recording, please.
Okay.
It's so hot.
Well, have a
There's
good
no
night.
one watching us anyway, so.
Good night.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Well, the Governing Council of Taos Academy is entering back into its open meeting at 7:21 p.m. I'd like to make a statement of closure to affirm that all matters discussed during our executive session were pursuant to the statute identified regarding limited personnel matters. No action was taken during our executive session and no other matters were discussed. May I have a roll call vote to affirm this statement?
Second,
No second, just a roll
Yeah.
call to.
a roll
David.
call, yes.
Yep. Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yeses.
Yeses.
We're rating yeses. Woo.
All of the yeses.
All the yeses. We're so agreeable.
We're just very agreeable.
Laura Martin. Yep.
That's great. And so I think the next board meeting agenda, we are gonna, is there anything we need to talk about? I'm sure there is.
We need to do the GC eval, review it,
For the agenda.
and then do Tracy's eval.
Okay. So we have lots of evaluations for next month and then we'll probably need one more executive session, I would assume.
Yes.
And the rest, Tracy and I will touch base about, and unless there's anything else, I call this meeting adjourned at 7:22 p.m.